And what was your name?
Oh, Erik, sorry.
Erik? Right.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
And partner ready? Okay, so we want to once reiterate that under our framework, the resolution does not clearly define the whose best interest this must be in. It just clearly asks whether or not Spain should grant independence to Catalonia. And we argue that it is completely impossible to be able to appease both nations under the current circumstances. Therefore, we believe that it is a debate of impact as to which one should be correct from an outside or even inside view from either country. Therefore, moving on, they talked about the economic detriment that would occur in Catalonia were they to become independent. Well, mainly the sources that they've used, they have talked about a unilateral disagreement. We have these sources as well from the US News. And according to these, the main disagreement within the European Union is the fact that this is a unilateral agreement. They have spoke on the fact that they do not want to get involved within this current conflict and would prefer that it be acted out in Spain. Therefore, there is a possibility that they could recognize this country were they to become independent if Spain was to grant their independence. Moving on, they talked about how there were people in Barcelona that were not born Spanish. We believe this point to be very much not applicable to the situation, as this debate is upon the subject of whether or not Catalonia should be granted independence, not Barcelona. As well, they talked about the vote. They talked about a vote in which 60% were worried about the future of the country. This question does not clearly relevant to this subject either, as this could easily be interpreted different ways by different people. They could be worried upon staying within Spain, or they could be worried about leaving Spain. So according to the way that they have phrased this poll, it is a poor poll and should not be used. We have a poll, however, recently as the third series poll within 2017, in which a majority voted for that they would rather have independence within Catalonia rather than the near 40% that voted that they would rather remain in Spain. Therefore, we believe that this poll would show that the Catalonian citizens would rather leave Spain than remain within Spain. And moving back to our points, culture is obviously an incredibly important subject, as our opponents would likely have you believe otherwise. As they talked about before, they, back in 1978, I believe is what they said, was the end of the rule by a different dictator. However, they argued that this past should not be taken into consideration as this was long past. Therefore, we believe that this 1978 Declaration of Independence is not incredibly relevant to the situation either, as opinions change over time, as the situations have changed over time. Therefore, we believe that it is possible that the situations now also stand to warrant independence. As well as this does not change the fact that their language and culture has been suppressed in Spain, and in fact, as proved by them, has had a history of being repressed within Spain. Therefore, it would clearly be in their best interest in the preservation of their culture and their language to leave Spain, such that they can guarantee the safety of the future for this. Therefore, it is simply, we want to reiterate again, a debate upon the impact of this independence. And we would argue that the language and cultural self-determination of Catalonia, as well as the opinion of its citizens, should come above the economic price that you would put on this independence. Thank you.